Saturday Social is powered by FIFA 22 with PlayStation.
Should we move on to the big topic then? Manchester United versus Liverpool. We cannot ignore it any longer, can we? We're going to be discussing the match, the managers, etc. in a little bit, but we're going to start with something a little bit different, a sort of combined 11. What we've got is Rambo's strongest Liverpool 11, and we're going to get Mark to try and fit as many Manchester United players in as physically possible. This is going to cause some spicy debate. I can already feel it now. This has also come off the back of a talking point on Monday Night Football about whether or not Ronaldo would get into this Liverpool side. Let's just give it a listen.
Let me ask you, Jamie, do you think Ronaldo would get in the Liverpool team?
No.
You agree with that?
I'm talking about Jurgen Klopp.
Obviously, I disagree with it.
No, I don't think Jurgen Klopp would pick Ronaldo if he had what we were picking now. That's the headline, isn't it, for the weekend? He's going to get the winner, isn't he?
You know that Manchester United are going to beat Liverpool on Sunday, and that's a fact, and he knows it, by the way.
I love that. Yeah, great watch for football, wasn't it? Always a great watch. That. So that was what Carragher and Neville had to say when they were doing their combined 11. So we're going to get Rambo, as you said, to pick your 11. So, Rambo, this is the 11 you've gone with. Just talk us through this Liverpool 11, which is obviously stacked with quality, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it almost like picks itself. Probably the only two areas that I was debating a little bit was possibly Firmino or Jota. But what I've gone with is current form, but also what Bobby's done over like such a long period. You just can't ignore how good he is, and more often than not we talk about Salah, Mane and ignore him. And when I was picking it, I was thinking, if anybody wants to crowbar players in, where are you going to crowbar them?
There we go. So Jota the toughest to league out. Obviously you've got a few players there, but Jota the toughest to league out. He's your super sub, basically.
Yeah. I think Bobby sort of like picks himself because he works in the system. But how are you picking this team? Are you picking what works with the system or the best player?
So what we're doing is it's now up to Mark to pick a combined 11, basically, and try and see how many Man United players you can get in that 11, and of course be as honest as you want, because I have a feeling the guys might disagree. So first player, you've changed the goalkeeper, so you've put in De Gea in. I can see Rambo's reaction. So De Gea over Alisson. We can see confirmation of your first change now. So why have you gone De Gea? Just explain why.
Look, I think David De Gea has sort of moved into this underrated category. He's definitely one of the best goalkeepers in the world over the last 10 years, but he's definitely one of the best goalkeepers in the world over the last 2 months. He's going to struggle not to get Player of the Year already. He's been absolutely fantastic.
United, Joe?
For Manchester United?
Yeah, that's what does that mean?
Well, Manchester United, all right, we'll get into that in a minute, but world-class goalkeeper, some of the saves he's made this season, he is back to being where he was when he was winning Player of the Year every year for Manchester United. I appreciate Alisson's a good goalkeeper. I'm a United fan. I ain't putting an Alisson in goalkeeper when my goalkeeper's already world-class.
Yeah, so I think De Gea's in really good form, but I think we look at Alisson and go, he's decent because he has less to do. But against Atletico Madrid, he makes a killer save from Griezmann's strike. He makes goalkeeping look really easy. And I like De Gea, and I think he's been in good form. But he'll have a shot on, like, next to his shoulder, and he'll throw himself half a foot in the air. I don't think Alisson needs to do that. I think he's much more composed. And I think when the ball goes back to Alisson, I'm chilled. When it goes back to De Gea, I'm panicking. So
I think if I took my bias away, I would lean towards it, and there is going to be bias in Liverpool United. But one of the things I think David De Gea has improved massively on is distribution, which is where Alisson and I suppose Ederson have took the game to another level. His distribution this season has been fantastic, and he's caused goals with like 50-yard passes and everything like that. So look, I'm not going to agree, but I'll let you think.
Rambo's not happy with it, but Mark's going. Let's move it on to the next player. We've got Rafa Varane coming in at the centre of the defence, taking over from Joel Matip. There it is. Why have you picked Rafa?
Again, one of the best centre-backs in the world, and has been for a very long time. But, you know, I don't think a lot of people watch Varane because maybe La Liga, France, they maybe watch little glimpses. What I've seen in the few games I've seen of United, that he is levels above Harry Maguire, who I think, up until probably this season, you'd put in the top 10 centre-backs in the world. In the Euros, he looked fantastic. So I appreciate Van Dijk is world-class, and I really do rate Matip. I think he's underrated. But Varane, we've bought a world-class centre-back there, and I think he's showing already that I think Varane and Van Dijk would have no peers. So,
that would be some part. Although I love Matip. Like, I think Matip is actually, if he could stay fit more consistently, he would be in the conversation of being one of the best centre-backs in the world.
all fairness, like this season, he stayed fit, and I would say he's actually looked better than Van Dijk at times.
Oh, clip that. Clip that out. Get that on
Liverpool
Twitter.
fans would agree, because Van Dijk hasn't been at his best, and we've seen it at times.
He's coming back from injury.
He's coming back from an ACL. Matip's really underrated. I think a big part of that is because he just doesn't look like a good centre-back. He's a little bit gangly and he's not overly quick, but he's very good in 1v1s. But then Rafa Varane is top draw, and United look a lot better with him in the side. But I don't know whether that's a United thing or whether it's a Rafa Varane thing. So I need to try and work that out. But I can't really argue like World Cup winner, La Liga winner, Champions League winner.
So you'd have Varane as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so
an actual bit of agreement.
Which is interesting.
Wow.
The next one I think is quite an interesting one.
This is going to cause some debate.
Quite a good debate with this one. So you've gone Luke Shaw over Robbo. Now, again, Luke Shaw, I've got to say, credit where it's due. Luke Shaw had an unbelievable Euros, I thought, incredible Euros. But of course, Andy Robertson has been so consistent for Liverpool, and of course he gets a lot of assists as well. Mark, explain your reasoning for going with Shaw. Then we're going to come straight to Rambo, who's shaking his head. Go on.
I can feel the wind from here, from that. No, to be fair, Robertson's been the benchmark for me, and this is probably the closest one in the whole team. I don't like saying this about Liverpool players, but I like what they do with their full-backs, and Robertson, for me, has got that defensive qualities as well. I think over the last year, he's fell a little bit in relation to his high standards, whereas Luke Shaw has gone to levels that I think even some United fans didn't think. And I think Luke Shaw's been superb over the last sort of 18 months, and I think he is one of the best left-backs in Europe. And I think, maybe there is a little bit of bias there again, but I would go Luke Shaw over Andy Robertson on this one.
All right, so David De Gea, you were comparing the last 2 months. If you compare Luke Shaw's last 2 months to Robertson's, Luke Shaw's nowhere near him. I do think Luke Shaw was better last season than Robertson, but what you said there was Robertson didn't reach his levels. Luke Shaw reached another level, but did he reach Robertson's levels?
I think he did. I think for the last year he's been absolutely fantastic. And look, I agree. I think the start of the season for Shaw has been a bit, but I think that's to do with the Euros and a short break. I think again on Wednesday night against Atalanta, he looked like the old Luke Shaw again, and what a delightful cross for the greatest striker we've ever seen.
So another disagreement there. You're not having it. Okay, so should we move it on to the next one? Because I think this next player coming in, Paul Pogba, might cause less debate. I'm not sure. Coming in for Jordan Henderson?
Yeah, I mean, when I was looking at the teams and I was thinking, who would I put in my team? I only had 2 names on there, and Pogba's on there. Because I think we had this debate last time I was on.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, I'd fight for Henderson here, but I do just think Pogba is world class and he can win a game for any team. I still don't think United have unlocked him. I think
you don't think that?
Nah, they're trying to figure out where he plays, and I don't know how you can struggle so much with a guy that good to go, can you play left wing for a bit for us? Can you go and play in the 10? Can you play as an 8? Can you play as a 6? He's so good. You do what he tells you to do, basically. So,
but it does feel like, doesn't it? I mean, from a Manchester United fan's perspective, that he works best when he's got players around him that are going to do sort of the harder yards,
do you think that's why it's so
the
effective
dirty
for France?
stuff.
Because he's got Kante playing in behind.
To a level, but Man United don't have a Kantes. They have to play 2 effectively in there, in Fred and McTominay.
He's very effective for France,
and then it's an awkward position to find for Pogba when Bruno's there as well. It's almost like, can you have Bruno, Pogba and Ronaldo in the team?
But in all fairness, France have played a 3-4-3 and he's played next to Adrien Rabiot. So I think he's just a lot more effective when he's got really top quality players around him, because
But United have top quality players around him right now. United have
but in comparison to
talent.
France, everyone's really comfortable in possession. All of that France back line is comfortable in possession. I don't think United is particularly. So he can go anywhere. And at the moment, it almost feels like when United have the ball, it's like just whack it to Pogba and he'll get us out of trouble. And then he ends up in trouble because of that situation. I don't want to take Henderson out of the team, but I don't really have a choice for this one. I would back Pogba.
So you've gone with Pogba and you've gone with another United player, Bruno. I know United fans absolutely love Bruno. You look at his stats, his goals and his assists.
Bruno
in the
has to be in.
Was this a no-brainer for you that Bruno Fernandes has to be in this team?
Well, I'm interested to see what Rambo says, because for me, Paul Pogba on form, he doesn't even play in the midfield for Man United. So, but I would put Pogba in for the reasons you've all discussed. I think he's a player, and Fabinho, I think, would unlock Pogba. So we're doing a combined 11. With Bruno, I'd put Bruno in the team ahead of Pogba. I mean, for me, Bruno's probably one of the ones I'd argue the most, because he gets a lot of stick, but I mean, that assist against Atalanta, the one against West Ham, and I love what he said after the game, where he comes out and says, look, I'm a risk taker. Forget the passing stats. I'm going to keep doing it, because basically saying, I can do passes that other people can't do, and I'm there to create chances. And it frustrates United fans at times, but his energy as well. I think Bruno Fernandes is one of the best players in the world.
We're back to this debate of how we're picking this team, because if I'm picking this team and does this team work, Bruno and Pogba is not going to work in this midfield.
They will with Fabinho in there.
Yeah, but you're going to have Salah, Mane, and you're going to say Ronaldo in that team. Bruno ain't going to work. Bruno doesn't work with Pogba and Ronaldo in the same team now.
But then, so you would rather have Pogba over Bruno?
Yeah, personally, I think he'd give you more balance. But also, the thing with Bruno is, and I like the fact that he says that he can take risks, but if he was in my team and if he was playing for Liverpool, he'd struggle because he has his output so high because he tries it all the time. So, like, his quality is going to be decent once every 6 times he tries it. If you give De Bruyne that licence, he's going to get more assists and he's going to get more goals. But in a system that has an identity, Bruno struggles. It struggles for Portugal.
I do think, though, if you stuck Bruno where Bobby Firmino plays for Liverpool, in that sort of false 9 role, maybe, not as one of the midfield 3, he would be unbelievable. He'd score so many goals and create so many more for Mo Salah and might have a little bit more licence.
I don't think Bruno Fernandes is the sort of... I mean, we talk about risk, but I don't think Bruno Fernandes is the sort of player that every time he gets it, he's trying the worldie. You know, he is very good at conducting the game, playing the simple pass, but I think there is a frustration at Manchester United at the moment that we don't play the way a Liverpool or Man City play. So he feels he has to force it, and I think in that team, with Fabinho sitting with Pogba, he'd be more disciplined with a coach like Klopp, and I think he'd get the best out of it.
Yeah,
would Bruno start
fair,
for Liverpool then, Rambo, for you? Bruno's at Liverpool. He wouldn't start for Liverpool.
Not in Klopp's team, Bruno doesn't work. And we've had that. We had Coutinho for a period who do similar things where his volume of what he tries is really high.
I think he works a lot harder than Coutinho. I think like his off-the-ball work rate
his work rate is decent,
Bruno.
but his work rate isn't organised. Like, it's dysfunctional. Like, Liverpool's work rate is organised. Henderson doesn't just press the right back of the other team. Bruno does.
But do you think that's if Klopp was managing him, then he would get him to manage into
I don't know, because I've seen
areas.
it for Portugal, and he's in and out of the team because they can't find a fix for Bruno. Because and it will be difficult because at United he gets to do whatever he wants. When he's going to play for Portugal, they're saying, like, you've got to play as an 8 and don't keep trying these passes you're getting to do at United.
All right, let's move on to his Portuguese teammate then that you've definitely got up front.
Yeah.
Cristiano in the 9 for Bobby Firmino. Easy choice?
Very easy. I mean, we've spent what feels like decades debating Lionel Messi against Ronaldo, and we're now going to talk Firmino against Ronaldo. Come on. He's the greatest striker in the world as a number 9, and Pep Guardiola wanted this guy. I like Firmino, I like what he does, but I can tell you now, Klopp won't admit it, but if you offered him Ronaldo, he'd go, thank you very much.
No, he wouldn't.
He would, 100%. He wouldn't, because he's that sort of manager, and he'd go, no, I'm not, you know, I don't want a Disney World, I want to work hard. But the reality is, he would take Cristiano Ronaldo if he could take him.
But the thing is, like, you're saying this, but then every time United don't win a game, United fans are all going, it's part of the reason is he doesn't press.
No,
and I understand what you're saying. Ronaldo is outstanding in the box, and he is an outstanding goal scorer. But if he goes to Liverpool, he's not going to work as hard as Firmino. He's not going to work as hard as Jota. He's obviously a lot better than Origi, but the problem Liverpool have with Origi isn't that
Here we go. Ronaldo and Origi.
He's better than Origi.
The biggest reason he struggled is because he doesn't work hard. And that Liverpool team is built on work rate. You can't have someone whose pressing numbers are far lower than the best player in the world currently, who is working harder than him and producing more than him. We don't need Ronaldo. United need Ronaldo because they need a hero.
I'm nearly going to start singing that song. We need a hero. No, I just think we're talking about a combined 11. Ronaldo gets in, and I think if you run a poll, he will get in. And I think you're talking about Liverpool. I get that. We're talking about Cristiano Ronaldo. I like pressing stats, but it's Cristiano Ronaldo, Maradona, Lionel Messi. I know what those players can do. I don't really care if they're not going to press from the front.
No, what you said, before it gets twisted,
Here we go.
What you said was Klopp would take Ronaldo now, and I'm saying no, he wouldn't. If I'm saying, is Ronaldo a better player than Bobby Firmino? Yeah, of course he is.
Have you got his number?
Klopp's.
Yeah, get him on. Get him on.
Someone get us.
This debate's never going to end.
It's never going to end. And you said we'll run a poll. We will run a poll.
We will run a poll.
Ronaldo.
Yeah.
We've got to talk about the game as well. Let's talk about the game. Rambo, how do you feel about a Liverpool fan? Because Liverpool playing some unbelievable football. A lot of people putting them as favourites. But got to say, whenever the pressure seems to be on Ollie, he's got an amazing ability to dig out results, hasn't he, for Man United? So how do you feel going into this one? Are you confident, nervous? What are your thoughts?
I'm quite chilled, to be fair. I think. Yeah, I think what Klopp's done over the last few years is condition Liverpool fans to treat every game as just a game, and he coaches every game like it's just a game. He'll play the same system, and he will just stick to what he knows. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, me and Mark were saying this before we came in, I don't know what he does or what he says, but when the day comes and he's under pressure, I remember his back was against the wall against PSG, and something just happened, and I was sat there scratching my head going, I don't know what he does to pull this off, but he's in that same situation again. His back's against the wall, and
well, let's talk about Ollie. Should we talk about Ollie? Because I want to come to you on this one, Mark, because you have strong opinions on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, to say the least. I've been watching a lot of your live streams. I mean, I've gone through a few of your tweets. I found one tweet in particular I want to pull up here. He's out of his depth. He's got no idea how to coach a side at this level. The football is abysmal, and his over-reliance on favourites is costing us.
He's not sitting on the fence, though, is he?
Not on the fence.
He's not really left me anywhere to go with that, have you?
Let's chat about Ollie then.
Look, I do think that the thing I use, I don't like the Ollie in, Ollie out. I think it's too toxic. I think it's too divisive. And, ultimately, I think every United fan wants United back where Liverpool and Man City are. And that's where you should. So I talk about standards at United. And I think the standards this season are not where they need to be. We've got 1 point from 9, 14 from 24. We've not really played anybody that good. And the football's been very poor for the players that we've got. I think that's my starting point, and I think I said that after Leicester. So obviously, a few hours after that, you're not going to be very happy. But I think we do look, and did in that game specifically, look massively out of our depth. The gap between the defensive line and the attack, and the space they exploited, and the fact that David De Gea was man of the match, and you've conceded 4 goals. We're not in a very good state, and we're winning games on, I think, fans and players responding to the old United DNA of let's just go. When we go for it, we're a good team, but we're very reactive. I mean, you watch it as well, Joe. We're just a very reactive side in the first minute. Something needs to happen for us to.
We're very reliant on individual moments of brilliance from a Bruno or a Greenwood blasting it from 30 yards, or Ronaldo. That does feel. I don't know. From your perspective as a Liverpool fan, when you watch United, do you think it's just? It feels like a lack of cohesion between the team. It's like a group of individuals rather than a unit.
Yeah, I think. It's just a lack of identity. There's no playing style. Like if I switch the telly on and I'm watching United against Brentford or United against Liverpool, I almost know exactly what United are going to do. Just hope that someone's going to do something. And to be fair, it's been like this for a little while now. I don't think this is a new thing this season. It's not because Ronaldo's there. Even last season, United were hoping that Bruno would do something or Pogba would do something. And I think it's always when you've got players of that quality, you can paper over the cracks a lot. But I think the problem's now arising where people are going, hold on a minute, there's 3 really good teams in this league, and the league's more competitive, and in the Champions League we're struggling, and squeezing past Atalanta is the big victory. People are going, that doesn't feel right to us.
Yeah.
Go on then, score prediction. Mark, how do you see it going?
I think because of the enormity of the game, it's the derby, really, isn't it? I felt for a long time. I'd have predicted this at the start of the season. I think a 1-1 draw.
1-1 draw?
Yeah, exactly the same. I don't see either team losing. I don't think. I think Liverpool take the gloves off for 20 minutes.
Both on the fence. 3-2 United. 3-2 United.
I actually do think draw as well. Actually, not You're going United 3-2.
3-2 United. Yeah.
3-2. Joe's confident. Okay.